Alright, next. Pag-usapan naman natin ngayon ang trapezoidal combined footing. So this one is in the shape of a trapezoid lang essentially. Okay? So this is very unusual in the construction pero it is possible naman din. Okay? So we will discuss here kung ano yung mga concept na meron dito. Okay? So for example, we have here a combined footing na trapezoidal. We have here a side B and A and with a length of L. Okay? So again, yung concept natin dito for the resultant of the trapezoidal combined footing, it will still act at the centroid of the footing. Okay, and then let's say na x bar distance from the longer side of the footing. So we have here side A and side B being the larger width of this foundation. So yung x bar dito is in reference dun sa side B. Okay, so we have here a derived formula for the x bar already. Okay, so the formula for the x bar here is simply equal to L over 3 times quantity B plus 2A over B plus A. Alright, and then kung meron tayong similar triangle, meron din tayong similar trapezoid for this one. Okay, so ito yung concept behind the similar trapezoid. So we will be using this one for the wide beam and for the calculation of the MU later on. Okay, so again, meron tayo ditong side A, shorter width, and then the B with it, which is the larger width. Okay, and then another thing dito, for example, kuha tayo dito ng cut section. Okay, and then let's call this the width C. Okay, so the value of the width C will be equal to A times the opposite side B plus B times the opposite side A all over the L. So this will be the length C. Okay, next. So for calculation of the QU, ganun pa rin naman dito. RU over area of the footing pa rin naman. Okay? So RU, ibig sabihin may ultimate na dito na subscript. So factored resultant na ito bale. Okay, and then for example, ito yung ating isometric view for the trapezoidal footing. So meron tayo ditong tinatawag na WB. So itong WB, this is the uniformly distributed load across the width B. So dadaan yung uniformly distributed load na to dito sa side B natin. And then of course, meron din tayo ditong WA. So itong WA naman is a uniformly distributed load na dadaan sa side A natin. So to get the value of this uniformly distributed load, meron tayo ditong formula na gagamitin which is equal to the QU times the width it is acting. So for example, doon sa WA, meron tayo ditong QU times the width of the A. Okay, so yung width ng A is simply the side A dito. And similarly for the WB naman, that is simply QU times the B. Okay, and then again, balikan natin yung sa similar trapezoid natin. For example, magsingit tayo dito ng cut na tawagin nating side C. And dito sa ating isometric view, kunyari ito yung side na yan. So meron din dadaan dito bale na uniformly distributed load. Okay, and then tawagin din natin yan na WC. So yung WC naman dito, yung kanyang value will be QU times side C. So this one is yung mga formulas na gagamitin natin para sa WA, itong uniformly distributed load under a certain side for the footing. Okay, and then for example, this is the elevation view of the trapezoid footing natin. Okay, so ito yung WB natin ulit kanina, A and then the WC. Okay, now to get the resultant force produced by these uniform loads, so for example, gawa lang tayo dito ng linear para makakuha tayo dito ng area mamaya, no? Okay, so for example, tawagin din natin yung distance ng WB and WC as x sub 1, and for WC and WA, tawagin natin yun na x sub 2. Okay, so we derive here a formula for the forces. Okay, so the force that we will be using here is simply equal to the area of the trapezoid. Now, what is this area of the trapezoid? So, this is not the area of the plan view, yung footing natin. So, hindi yon. Kundi, yung area na naproproduce nitong WB and WC and WA. So, for example, consider this area between WB and WC. So kung mapapansin natin dito, it is a trapezoidal shape actually, no? So WB is the other side and then WC will be the other side. And yung distance natin dito, yung length niya will be x sub 1. So the force produced by WB and WC, tawagin nating F1, and F1 will be equal to the area of this area here. So that is 1/2 WB plus WC times quantity x sub 1. that is the area of the trapezoid. So ito yung trapezoid na binabanggit dito, not the area of the footing itself. So next one, we have here the other side. So ang mga kasali dito sa other area naman is the WC and the WA. Okay, tawagin natin dito, merong force number 2, and force number 2 will be equal to 1/2 WC plus WA times X sub 2. So ito yung magiging formulas natin for the forces and the uniformly distributed loads. Careful that this one, okay, itong W's natin, itong mga uniformly and mga forces natin dito is only used for wide beam and maximum moment. So kung ang tanong ay punching shear or punching forces, stresses, hindi natin to gagamitin. Okay, so babalik tayo dun sa normal na pressure ang ginagamit, hindi uniform loads. Okay, so yun lang naman yung pinagkaiba dito. Okay, example number 2. Trapezoidal combined footing is to be designed to carry the loads PD and PL acting at the center of the columns, which are 4.5 meters apart. Both columns are 400 by 400 mm, F prime is 20.7 and Fy is 276 megapascal. The allowable net pressure is 185 kilopascal. Use effective depth 450 mm. Column 1 here has dead load equal to 850 kilonewton and live load 650 kilonewton. Column 2 has 650 and 450 kilonewton naman na dead and live. Determine the minimum dimension of A and B for the footing. B, factored shear force for the wide beam at column 1. C, what is the punching shear force acting in the column 1. And D, what is the maximum moment acting at the footing. So we have here the plan view of the trapezoidal combined footing. Side B here with a column 1 adjacent to side B, then column 2 as the interior column here. Okay, so they are 4.5 meters apart and the length of the footing is given as 5.5 meters. Alright, first we rewrite all the loads here. So the service loads and the factored loads. Okay, so I already summarized here yung mga values. So the P1 here is simply the PD or the dead plus live, that is equal to 850 plus 650, which is equal to 1,500. So for P2 naman, that is 650 plus 450, which is equal to 1,100 kilonewton. And the resultant for the service loads is simply equal to P1 plus P2, which is equal to 2,600 kilonewton. And next for the factored loads naman, so the P1U, lagyan na natin ng subscript na U for the ultimate, that is now equal to 1.2 of the dead plus 1.6 of the live, which is equal to 1.2850 plus 1.6650 equal to 2,060 kilonewton. P2U naman, that is 1.2650 plus 1.6450, which is equal to 1,500 kilonewton. And for the ultimate resultant naman natin, that is P1U plus the P2U, which is equal to 3,560 kilonewton. Now, yung tanong sa letter A is the dimension, side A and side B of the foundation. So again, for the dimension, we need effective soil pressure. So for letter A, gagamitin natin dito, this is the effective is equal to resultant all over the area of the footing. So yung effective natin dito ay already given. Now the effective here, okay, so walang ginamit na effective but rather the word used here is the net soil pressure. Okay, so when we say net pressure, again, that is effective. So the effective here is simply 185 kilopascal. Okay, so yun yung gagamitin natin dito. And the R here, of course, this must be the service kasi effective. So 2,600 yung gagamitin natin, no? So careful, wag 3,560 ang gamitin natin. Okay, so makukuha na natin dito yung area ng footing natin. So the area of the footing here is simply equal to R, that is 2,600 divided by the effective, which is 180 kilopascal. Now the area of the footing is now equal to, so 2,600 divided by 180 is equal to 14.44 meter square. Okay? Now, what is the area of the footing here? So, ang area ng footing natin, since this is trapezoidal, we can actually derive here the area of the footing. The area of the footing here is simply equal to 1/2. Base 1 natin ay tawagin na lang nating A. Base 2 natin ay yung B. And with a length of 5.5 meters. So, pwede nating sabihin that the area of the footing is simply equal to A plus B times quantity 5.5 divided by 2. So, simplify na lang natin dito yung 5.5. Divide this natin ng 2. Okay, so we have 2.75. 2.75. Distribute natin sa loob. A plus 2.75B. So, ito yung ating area of the footing. Now, pwede na natin tong i-equate. Okay, so 14.44. 14.44 is actually equal to 2.75, or siguro ilabas na lang natin muna A plus B. Now, pwede natin tong i-simplify pa. 14.44 divide this by the 2.75. Okay, so meron na tayo dito ang 5.25. A plus B now is equal to 5.25 meters. So, wala pa tayong mapapala dito. Let's say this is equation number 1. Now, for the next equation naman. Okay, so recall lang natin yung distance ng ating resultant from a reference, no? So, again, if you remember, say for example, we have here a resultant. So, ang distance ng resultant na to from the larger side, okay, so side B is what we call the x-bar. And yung derived formula natin dito ay simply L over 3 times quantity B plus 2A over B plus A. Okay, so ito yung gagamitin natin. Now, ano na yung purpose nito, no? So, remember that at the center of column 1, we have here the P1. And at the center of the column 2, we have the P2. So, ang purpose lang nitong x-bar natin dito is that the moment of resultant, that is resultant times x-bar, okay? So, meaning yung reference natin ay dito sa side B, must be equal to the moments produced by the two axial forces. So, meaning P1 times its distance from the reference. Again, if you remember, the column dimension is 0.4 by 0.4. So, this one is 0.2 meters. Okay? So, that is P1 times 0.2 plus for the column number 2 naman, yung axial 2 niya, that is P2. Yung moment arm niya naman from our reference is simply 4.5 plus 0.2, or that is 4.7 meters. Okay? So, ito yung ibig sabihin nito, no? Yung moment ng resultant ay equal sa mga moments ng ating mga axial load. So, yung R natin dito is the service load, that is equal to 2,600 times, okay, yung X-bar natin is equal to L over 3. So, yung L natin dito is 5.5 divided by 3 times B. Okay, so unknown pa yan. B plus 2A over B plus A. And this is equal to P1 natin. The P1 here is simply equal to 1,500 and P2 is 1,100. Okay, so P1 is 1,500 times 0.2 plus 1,100 times 4.7. So, pwede natin tong isimplify pa. Iwan natin dito sa left equation natin yung B plus 2A. B plus 2A over B plus A. And this is equal to, so simplify natin yung nandito sa right side. So that is 1,500 times 0.2 plus 1,100 times 4.7 all over 2,600 times 5.5 over 3. Okay, so we have here a value of 1.148. Okay, and then expand pa natin ito or simplify pa natin further. We have here B plus 2A is now equal to 1.148B plus 1.148A. So, pagsamahin na natin dito. So, ilipat natin yung mga nasa right dito sa left na lang siguro. Okay, and then unahin natin si A. So, 2 minus 1.148, that is now equal to 2.148. So, we have 0.852A. Okay, and then next, B minus 1.148. So, we have negative 0.148B naman. And this is equal to 0. And then, tawagin na natin to as our equation number 2. So, we now have equation 1 and equation 2. So, pwede na natin ditong gamitin yung 2 equations to unknown sa calculator natin. So, okay, so mode, equation, tapos 1. So, first, we have 1, tapos yung C natin is equal to 5.25. Dapat naka-equate dun sa right side. Okay? And then dito naman, we have 0.852 and negative 0.148 and then 0 for the C. Okay? And then equate lang natin dito. So we now have here side A is equal to 0.777 meters. And for the side B naman, we have 4.473 meters. So ayaw naman natin na ganito yung magiging tsura neto. We can now round off to 0.8 meters, and this one pwede nating sabihin na 4.5 meters. Okay? So ito na yung i-adapt natin na answer for letter A. Okay, next letter B, the factored shear force for the wide beam at column 1. So when we say factored shear force, dahil meron ditong word na factored, ang gagamitin natin dito ay dapat yung mga loads na factored din. So the VU that will be produced by the factored loads under the foundation. Alright. Again, for the wide beam force or stress dito sa ating trapezoidal combined footing, ito yung gagawin natin. Okay? So, dapat magiging ganito yung itsura niya, no? So, kailangan natin dito ng mga WB and then the WC. And then, of course, meron pa rin yung P1 nyo dito. Dapat makikita pa rin siya dito, no? Na nag-a-act. Okay, so, for example, ito yung naputol because of the wide beam force or wide beam stress. Again, dahil wide beam ito, susukatin natin to ng D distance from the column number 1 kasi yun naman yung tanong dito. And then yung D distance natin dito, say for example, meron tayo ditong magiging width na C. So again, ito na yung width C natin para sa ating trapezoid for the wide beam. So what is the value of C again? Okay, so take note that the value of C is simply equal to A times its opposite side na B plus B times its opposite side na A, divide this by the length. Okay, so yung C natin dito ay hindi pa natin alam. Pero pwede naman tong masolve, no? So again, yung B natin dito, nakalculate na natin as 4.5. Okay, so yung side B natin ay 4.5 and then yung side A natin ay 0.8 meters. And then what is side B? What is this small side A naman dito? Okay, remember that the column dimension is 0.4. So this is 0.4 and the effective depth is already given. So the effective depth here is 450 mm or that is 0.45. Okay, so if we have here 0.4 and then another 0.45 here, side B is actually equal to 0.85. Okay, this is smaller side. And of course, kung 0.85 na yan, yung naiwan na lang kay side A is of course 5.5 minus 0.85. Okay, so for side A, meron tayo dito ang 4.65 meters. 4.65 meters. So kompleto na ito, pwede na natin kunin yung side ni C. So A natin is 0.8 times 0.85 plus 4.5 times 4.65. Divide this all by 5.5. Now, side C is equal to 0.8 times 0.85 plus 4.5 times 4.65. Then divide this by 5.5. 3.93 meters. Okay, so this will be our side C. Now, kung meron na tayong side C, pwede na natin kunin yung mga WB and then the WC. Okay, so to solve WB and WC, we need the pressure ultimate muna. So QU is equal to RU divided by the area of the footing. So what is our RU here? The RU is 3560 kilonewton. So 3560 and then what is the area of the footing? So hindi yung 14.44 yung gagamitin natin, na rather yung na-derive na natin na bagong dimensions using 0.8 meters and the 4.5 meters na sides. Okay? So kung 14.44 kasing gagamitin natin, maliit na yan. 1/2 times yung side A natin na 0.8 plus yung side B natin na 4.5 and then with a length of 5.5. So ito yung magiging bagong area natin using the new dimension or the rounded dimension. Okay, so yung QU natin dito is simply equal to 3560 divided by 0.5, 5.5 times 0.8 plus 4.5. 244.25 kilopascal as our QU. Okay, so finally, pwede na natin kunin yung values ni WB and ni WC. So, dito na lang siguro. So, WB here is simply equal to QU times the side B. Then, WC naman ay QU times the side C. So, 244.25 times yung B natin dito is 4.5 meters. So, meron tayong uniformly distributed na 244.25 times 4.5. So, we have here 1,095.125 kilonewton meter. Okay, and then for the side C naman, or the WC, we have here 244.25 times yung side C natin na 3.93. Okay, so we have here 959.9025. 959 divided by 0.90, okay, 9025 kilonewton meter. Okay, so meron na tayo ditong mga WBs and DWC. Alright, so para makuha na natin yung factored shear force for the wide beam near the column number 1, ito yung mga kailangan natin ng mga figures. So, nire-write na natin dito yung values ni WB and then WC. Then, again, meron tayo dito nung kanyang elevation view naman. Okay? So, para makuha natin yung VU produced by this cut, no? So, for example, meron tayo ditong lalabas na VU. Then, ito yung tinatanong na factored shear force for the wide beam. So, para makuha yan, kailangan din natin muna ng resultant nitong mga pressure natin or itong mga uniform loads natin sa ating pundasyon. Okay, so meron tayo ditong resultant nitong WB and WC. Tawagin natin yun as the force F na lang siguro. Now, to solve the VU produced by this section, so we have summation of forces vertical equal to 0. Lahat ng upward forces ay equate lang natin sa mga downward forces. From this one, we can say that yung mga upward natin ay yung VU and then the F, and then yung downward ay yung P1U. Rewrite natin dito, VU plus the F is actually equal to the P1U. Now again, ano yung value naman nitong F dito? F dito, if you remember, this is simply the area of the trapezoid. So ano yung trapezoid? Yung trapezoid na nabubuo ni WB and ni WC. Okay, so this is simply equal to 1/2 WB plus WC times yung kanyang distance na 0.85. So again, no, meron tayo ditong column dimension na 0.4, tapos yung ating effective depth na 0.45. So meron tayong width na 0.85. Okay, so yun lang yung times natin dito, 0.85. Now, solving for F, this is equal to, okay, so meron tayo ditong 0.5, 1/2 times WB natin na 1099.125, WC natin na 959.9025, times yung distance natin na 0.85. 875.09 kilonewton. So, para ma-solve natin yung VU, this is now equal to P1U minus DF. Okay? So, yung P1U natin ay 2060 kilonewton minus 875.09. Now, finally, ang ating factored shear for the wide beam is simply equal to 2060 minus the answer. Okay, so meron tayo ditong 1184.91. 1184.91 kilonewton. Okay, so ito na yung sagot natin for letter B. Oops! Since nandito ka na rin naman sa part ng video ito, maaaring pa-like, share, and subscribe ka na rin sa ating channel. Channel 登録お願いします. Right, next, what is the punching shear force acting in the column number 1? Alright, for the punching naman, ganito na yung mangyayari dito sa ating trapezoidal footing. Okay? Dahil column 1 pa rin naman, so magsukat lang tayo ng d/2 distance all over the faces of the column number 1. So kung mapapansin natin, again, ito yung yung ating column 1 ay adjacent to the property line. So wala nang masisira dito sa point na to, no? So hanggang dito lang yung masisira. D/2 from the 3 faces. So kung D/2 yan, tawagin na lang natin itong mga x distances or x dimension, and this one as our y dimension. Okay? So yung value ng x dito is simply equal to, so column dimension 0.4 plus D/2. Okay? So yung D natin again ay 0.45 meters. Then divide this by 2. Okay? So yung x natin dito is simply equal to 0.4 plus 0.45 divided by 2. So meron tayo ditong 0.625. 0.625 meters. And then for the y naman, we have here, so again, meron tayo ditong D/2 and then D/2 dito sa baba. So that is actually dalawang D/2. Okay, and then plus column dimension which is 0.4. So cancel na dito yung ating 2. So D is 0.45 plus 0.4, or this is equal to 0.85 meters. Then finally for the perimeter naman, so that is BO, we have here the perimeter of, okay, so meron tayo ditong dalawang x sa baba, x sa taas, then plus y. Okay, so ang perimeter natin para dito ay simply 2x plus y. So this is 2 times 0.625 plus 0.85. So times 2 lang natin ito, plus 0.85. So we have here perimeter equal to 2.1 meters. 2.1 meters. Alright, so ito na yung section na masisira because of the punching. Okay, and then again, dahil punching na to, okay, so yung pressure natin dito ay magiging ganito ulit. Okay, hindi na yung uniformly distributed na W. So yung pressure dito sa ilalim ng pundasyon natin is equal to a uniformly distributed, no, na pressure na. QU. So again, if we remember, yung QU natin ay merong magnitude na 244.25 kilopascal. So ano yung mangyayari dito na VU? Now remember, this is equal to 244.25 kilopascal. So para makuha natin yung VU, meron tayo dito, o tawagin na lang natin yung VU natin is somewhere here ulit. Okay, and then yung resultant naman ni QU, tawagin din natin ito na F. Alright, so wag po tayong malito, no? Iba yung VU dito na nangyayari. This is the net between the P1U and the F. So yun yung tinatanong dito na punching shear force. Okay, the F here is simply the resultant of the pressure QU. Now, solve muna natin siguro dito what is the F. Okay, so F here is simply equal to QU times the area. Now, ano yung area na ita-times natin? So, of course, the area na nasira. Okay, so yung nasira na area dito is simply this one. So, that is X times Y. Alright, so QU natin dito is simply, or F natin dito is simply QU X times Y. Then finally, meron na tayo dito ang F na 244.25 times X natin na 0.625 times Y natin na 0.85. Okay, and then F natin here is equal to, so 244.25 times 0.625 and 0.85 gives us 129.76 kilonewton. And then for the VU, that is simply equal to summation forces vertical ulit tayo, or diretso na lang natin. VU is simply equal to the net between P1U and the F. Okay, so yung P1 dito, siya yung laging mas malaki ang value. So P1 minus F. Okay, so this is 2060 minus 129.76. Now, our VU here is simply equal to, okay, so i-minus na lang natin dito, 2060. Okay, so meron tayo ditong VU na 1930.24. Okay, and then positive lang natin, 1930.24 kilonewton. So, this is actually the punching shear force of this footing. Okay? Okay, and then last one, what is the maximum moment acting at the footing? Alright, so para naman makuha natin yung maximum moment, kailangan lang natin dito mag-cut ulit. So dun sa kakat natin dito, dapat lalabas doon yung shear equal to 0. Okay? Kung nasaan yung shear 0, dapat nandoon yung maximum moment. Let's say for example, x distance yung location ng maximum moment dun sa ating side B. Okay? And then dun sa kinot natin, meron tayo dito maproproduce na side D. So again, dun sa cut natin dito, dapat yung shear natin dyan ay 0. So para makuha natin yung magnitude nitong x, kailangan lang natin dito tignan yung mga forces natin. Okay, again, yung forces natin dito ay dapat mga W na ulit, no? For wide beam and moment para sa trapezoidal na foundation, kailangan natin ng mga uniformly distributed load. So kung meron na tayo ditong P1U, say for example, yung resultant ng WB and W ay tawagin na lang nating F. So that is the resultant of this force. Okay, taking forces vertical equal to 0, pwede nating sabihin na ang VU natin dapat ay equal to the net of the P1U and then the F. So this is equal to P1U minus the F. Yung VU natin dito is equal to 0. So P1U minus F must be equal to 0. Or pwede rin nating sabihin that P1U is equal to the F. Okay, so ito yung magiging working equation natin, bale. Now, ang problema natin, ano ba yung value ng F dito? The value of the F is simply equal to 1/2 WB plus the W times the X here. So, yung WB natin dito, meron na tong value kanina. And yung ating W naman dito ay wala pang value. Kasi nga, this is unknown. So, para makuha natin yung value ng W dito, kailangan natin munang malaman ano ba yung side D natin dito. Now, to solve the side D, this is simply equal to side A times dx plus side B times 5.5 minus x all over 5.5. So, meron na tayong value ni A and ni value ni B. Okay, so expand lang natin ito. This is now 0.8x plus 4.5 times 5.5 minus x all over 5.5. Okay? So, pwede pa natin tong isimplify yung nasa taas actually, no? So, pwede natin pagsamahin yung x together and then yung constant natin. Now, D is equal to, okay, so yung ating mga x dito, we have 0.8 and then kung i-distribute natin yung 4.5 doon sa loob, magiging negative 4.5x. 0.8 minus 4.5. So, we have negative 3.7x. So, minus 3.7x plus, okay, 4.5 times 5.5. 4.5 times 5.5, we have 24.75 all over 5.5. Okay? So, ito na yung value ni D in terms of the x. So, ano yung purpose nito? So, malalaman na natin actually yung value ni W dito. Again, ang formula natin for the W is simply equal to the QU times the width, which is the D. Okay? QU times the D. Again, yung QU natin dito ay 244.25 times lang natin ito ng negative 3.7x plus 24.75 all over 5.5. So, pwede na nating isimplify pa itong W natin in terms of dx. Distribute lang natin itong 244.25 times negative 3.7 over 5.5. So, meron tayo ditong negative 164.31x, negative 164.31x, tapos yung nasa loob pa ng mga constant. So, 244, okay, palitan lang natin yung numerator natin ng 24.75. Okay, so we have here, so positive pala to dapat, no? Positive lahat, so tanggalin lang natin yung negative sign dito. So that is 1099.125 plus 1099.125. So ito na yung ating magiging W dito. So pwede na natin tong i-substitute dito para sa ating F. So we can now have 1/2 WB natin ay 1099.125 plus yung W natin. Okay, yung W natin dito is negative 164.31x plus 1099.125. So, unahin ko na lang dito yung 1099. So, plus 1099.125 and then minus 164.31x. Then, multiply this again by x dito sa ating labas. Okay, and then simplify this further. F is equal to, so yung nasa loob, i-plus lang natin 1099.125 times 2 natin yan, and then i-divide natin ulit ng 2. So magiging 1099.125 lang din yon. Tapos i-times natin dun pa sa may x dito sa labas. So meron tayo ditong 1099.125x. Then next, yung nasa loob, negative 164.31, i-divide natin siya ng 2. 164.31. Okay, divide lang natin ito ng 2. So we have 82.155. 82.155. Then meron tayong x sa loob times x sa labas. So magiging x square. So ito na yung ating f bale. Now pwede na natin gamitin yung ating equation kanina that P1U is equal to df. Again, recall natin na yung P1U natin ay 2060, and then this is equal to 1099.125x then minus 82.155x square. Okay? Then finally, pwede na nating isolve dito yung ating x. Pero this is quadratic equation, so dapat gawin din natin dito sa calculator is yung mode 5-3. So mode equation 3 lang. So dito sa x square natin, meron tayong negative 82.155. For the value of x, meron tayong 1099.125. And then yung 2060, dapat ilagay natin sa kabila. So i-transpose natin, gawin nating negative 2060. Finally, meron tayong x sub 1 na 11.12 at 2.25. So x sub 1 is 11.12. X sub 2 natin is 2.25 meters. So of course, between the two, ang pipiliin natin na value ng x ay yung 2.25. So kung yung 11.12 kasi, ang ibig sabihin nito, lagpas ka na dun sa ating pundasyon. Okay? Yung total na haba lang ng ating pundasyon ay 5.5. So kung x sub 1 ang ginamit mo, mali na yon. 2.25 yung value ng x natin. Dito, yung shear equal to 0. And then, isolve na rin natin dito yung value nitong ating W. So, in terms of x naman, ito kanina pa, no? Solve natin yung magnitude nitong W natin. This is now negative 164.31 times yung x natin ay 2.25 plus 1099.125. 729.43 kilonewton per meter. Okay? Now, finally, pwede na natin kunin dito yung magnitude ng ating Mmax. Okay? So, dito, yung ating pressure, breakdown na natin. So, yung trapezoidal, ginawa nating 2 shapes. Okay? Meron tayong rectangular and then yung triangular na shape. So, kung trapezoidal kasi ito, hindi natin alam agad yung magiging moment arm natin. By breaking this down, mas mapapadali tayo dito, no? So, ang Mmax na natin dito is simply equal to, okay, we take moments from shear equal to 0 and then this must be equal to 0. So magmo-moment tayo dito sa ating shear equal to 0 na location. Then say for example, all the clockwise must be equal to the counterclockwise moments. So sino yung mga clockwise moment dito sa ating shear equal to 0? So una dito, ipasok na natin si F1. So si F1, meron siyang moment arm na kalahati nitong x. So we have here x over 2. Then next, meron tayo ditong F2. Si F2 naman ang kanyang moment arm, since ito ay triangular, andito yung ating vertex, so 2/3 nung x dapat. So we have here 2/3 x. Then wala na ditong clockwise moments. Then equate na natin ito sa mga counterclockwise moments. So unang-unang papasok dito sa ating counterclockwise ay si Mmax na mismo. Okay, lagay natin dito Mmax, then plus, meron pa yung P1U. P1U times the moment arm. Yung moment arm ni P1U from the reference is simply equal to x na distance, ibawas lang natin yung kalahati ng ating column. Again, 0.4 by 0.4 yung ating column. So, meron ditong ibabawas na kalahati, 0.2. So, the moment arm is simply x minus 0.2. X less 0.2. So, ito na yung ating working equation to finding the value of the Mmax. Okay? Kaya lang, unknown pa ang magnitude ni F1 and ni F2. So, by solving first, no, yung ating mga forces dito, this is simply the area, no, nung mga nakikita natin. So, for F1, dahil ito ay rectangular, the shape is simply W para sa height times X para sa kanyang base. Okay? So, yun yung area na nabubuo, and that is the magnitude of the F1. So, kung isa-substitute natin dito, this is kilonewton per meter. So, we have here 729.43 times yung X natin na 2.25. Kilonewton per meter times meter magiging kilonewton. So, meron tayo ditong 729.43 times 2.25. Meron tayong F1 na 1641.22 kilonewton. Next, F2 naman tayo. So, yung F2 natin ay triangle. So, this is simply 1/2. Okay, yung base natin ay yung X times yung height natin ay simply the difference of WB and DW. Okay, so yung delta dito if ever man meron. So, yung delta again is WB minus DW. So, the area of this triangle is simply 0.5. X natin is 2.25 times yung W natin dito 1099.125 less 729.43. So meron tayo ditong F2 na 415.91 kilonewton. So may mga magnitudes na tayo ng F1 and F2, so pwede na nating isolve yung ating Mmax. F1, this is 1641.22 times 2.25 over 2 plus 415.91 times 2/3 of 2.25 is equal to maximum moment plus yung PU1 natin ay 2060 times quantity 2.25 minus 0.2. And then meron na tayo ditong Mmax na equal to, so 1641.22 times 2.25 divided by 2 plus 415.91 times quantity 2/3 of 2.25 minus 2060 times 2.25 less 0.2. So meron tayo ditong magnitude ng Mmax equal to negative 1752.76. 1752.76 kilonewton meter. So yung negative lang dito indicates na mali yung direction na inassume natin. So i-correct lang natin, dapat siya ay clockwise direction. Okay, and then finally ito na yung sagot natin for the maximum moment. Alright?